Well, I think my people might have said and whispered to me that I probably didn't have a chance of winning in Shawinigan. Anyway, I was going to say, I don't want to get too much into the politics. I'll just say this, that, you know, in our time in office, myself and colleagues here, you know, Quebec, the support for Quebec sovereignty went to its lowest level since the early 1960s. And support for Western separatism vanished completely. So, you know, look, there are people obviously in both parts of the country who think differently, but I think the reality is federal government manages this country right, puts the stress on unity and not on ideological tangents, and there's no reason why we can't pull the country together at this moment.
So the two of you clearly like and respect one another. I know you've got a bit of a roadshow you've embarked upon from time to time, and despite the fact that you represent very different social and political movements, what advice do you have for the current generation of political figures to enable them to disagree with one another without stoking polarization in the country?
You know, the communication of today have changed. And the gossips of the taverns, you read them every morning on this little machine. And all that is terribly negative, terribly negative. And I don't know how we will counter that. Because you have an article, and only the people who are negative. Very rarely you can read something under an article that refer to what is positive in the article. It's always what can be negative. And so that means that all the young people have that in their hands all the time, and looking at that stuff, a lot of time it was pure invention, lies, and nobody correct them. And that will have to be corrected, I don't know. But I lived the same situation in a way. When I was elected, Parliament, we had no TV, no radio, no nothing. It was a debating society. And there was a lot more, you know, now it's on TV. So it's dull, because, you know, they read a text prepared by somebody else. The House of Commons, in my time, you had not the time to have notes, the right to have notes. If you could not speak up your mind, you could not talk. And if you lie, my God, Trump will be in trouble. If you lied in the House of Commons and you could not prove, you know, and if somebody accused you of lying, if he cannot prove it, he was expelled of the House of Commons. And now these things, these values of what is the truth, seem to be have disappeared. They all look with what attract attention, what is attractive for the media and the communication of today. And we'll have to overcome that. But we have overcome the arrival of radio, TV, the television in the house and all that. So eventually we'll find a solution. Probably I will not be there to find it.
Yeah, look, I do think this is part of the challenge. We're entering a different age of communications, social media age. You know, we've gone through, I tell, you know, 175 years ago, however long it was, 150 years ago, when Sir John A. Macdonald was going across the country, he was stumping. Like, he originally not even a train, a horse and buggy, went from town to town, got in a park, on a stump or a gazebo, and that's how he built a political campaign and built a political machine. And then we had the radio age, and we had the TV age, and we had the 24-hour news cycle, which happened in your time, and then social media was just really getting
all right.
a whole momentum.
It's okay, Stephen.
My time. And it's changed everything, because it's a whole new...
We're good. You just look like you fucking purged, Nigma. Nigma, are you still alive? Are you still with us? Okay, we're good. All right. Oh, wait. Alright, let's remove this. It's so fucking hot in here. And I'm like overdressed. Alright. I think Nigma is okay. I think he's still alive. Alright. How you guys doing? How are you all doing? Chrétien is the shit. He is the shit. I love him so much. I didn't want to ban or delete comment. It's okay, it's okay. I mean, I find it so funny because the guy, the guy is such a grandpa. He's like, he started well, it's not a speech, it's a discussion, but he started it with like denying, well, maybe not denying, but let's say underplaying a lot the struggle of the Inuit people. And after that, he called them Eskimos. No! What are you doing? He's such a fucking grandpa. And after that, he's like, well, I went there and I saw they're really great people. And the problem is that he's right. That motherfucker is right. Okay? That's the most that's the most unhinged part. Alright, it's okay, it's okay. Nobody is banned. Nobody is dead. We're all doing good. So let me just set everything up. What do I have in the screen? Okay, don't have a lot. Let's fucking go! We're doing coding stream because today my attempt was shit, and also I think I'm starting to be sick. So that's going to be fun. What? Oh shit. Okay, I still have network. Oh. That should have been a thing. It's alright, it's alright. It's the right address. Fuck me. Give me half a second. I'll go and check. Those were not the errors I wanted to see, but hope. Hope. Those were IO errors. Normally, when you see that, it means that your day is going to be a bad day. I think I made this setup with a shit SSD. Alright, it's trying, I guess. We're gonna wait for it. Alright. So anyway, what are we doing today? What's the plan for today? Are we doing some code? Or are we getting into SQL? Did you find out, MBE, did you find out why in your setup, in your, like, schematics, you included the text within the object and not make it a second table? Including the text within the thing. I guess we're gonna do some code today. Did look into it. Sorry. It's okay. It's okay. There's no worries. Just wanted to know. Give me half a second. Checking a couple of things. I don't have a lot of energy today, too. So I'm not better. Okay, which is which? It shows, like, all of my computers. Oh, maybe it's an update. Ooh! That clutch was about to freak. The cozy boys. I'm assuming that this is not a reference to the other thing containing cozy, and that you're just saying that we're two fucking boomers. Being boomers. Okay, music. We need some music. Oh, it's going to blah. Ah! Okay. I sacrificed my ears for yours. I checked the OBS before me. Alright. Okay. So I actually pushed an update on Git before leaving yesterday. So everything is up to date. Alright, let's go into parsers today. Everyone is drooling face planted onto the keyboard. Yep. True. It's all good since you show so much enthusiasm into knowing what it is. It's a Nazi group anyway. Okay. So I was trying to justify making a new class called Highlight. Yeah, that's probably the idea. Yes, you cannot just exist. Okay. Yes, fuck it. Let's do it. Alright, so the idea here... whoops, wrong key. Is that whenever we have a struct... Well, I said struct, but whatever the fuck it is. So let's say that we have a struct... Fuck J. Have I inverted it? I inverted it. Fuck J, okay? So if you have a struct fuck J... Whoops. Doop. Doop. We have the position from here to here, and we have the name. Now what we need is the position from here to here, and the name. And if we could store all of that within the same thing, that would probably be cool. So let's do that. Do we start with CPP Pro? No. Let's start with AST. Wait, first, we should probably test what I did a couple more times, just to make sure that it actually works. That should be a good idea. How are you guys doing? What are you doing today? For myself, not a lot. Probably check my stocks a couple of times today. Seems to have a lot of movement. But I'm still fucking winning! Okay. I'm having fun. It died out a long time ago. Well, when I say Nazi group, I mean like neo-Nazi group. But all good. Indeed, people still believe they're bullshit. That's insane. I'm doing good once again. That's great. Where are we expecting this shit to break? Like, maybe this. No, it's not broken. You said data pack a lot of time, but I don't know data pack for what. Don't know what you mean by data pack. Looks good to me. Do we really need a nightlight object, or can we just use a line? Let's just use a line for now. Oh, okay, Minecraft. Alright, got it. You do not have a mouse. What the fuck? That's a lot to say, Chief. Okay, do I want... fuck it, we're getting in CCP Pro. CPP Pro. So, instead of putting identifier, we should put line for each of them. So, where are you, CPP Pro? I currently do not have a mouse either. What the fuck? Oh. A trackpad. Okay, that's fair. Of course, you're on a laptop. You little trickster. You got me. You got me. You're right. Oh man, oh man. Not everyone is rich like you. A mouse. A fucking mouse. I hope you were talking about my stocks. Mouses use RAM. That's where you're wrong, Nigma. That's where you're wrong, okay? It uses... the work RAM, okay? Alright. Oh god. I'm going to get you to game end if I don't stop. Alright. Let's get where we want to be. So let's check. So if and def and an if def, we should just take this. This should be our highlight. So the way that we should do it is find the position. Now, we seem to find the position within the working line. And that might be an issue. Maybe what we should do instead should be to create a new command that can detect within line, right? So what it could do is it could store... Wait a second. Okay. You cannot yank me out. Indeed, I cannot. Maybe because every single thing has a... No, sorry, I'm going retarded. I'm going retarded. Okay. We can define a new line. Let's give it the line number where the thing we're searching for is. And then let's make it search for it. Would that be smart? Okay, fuck. Let me define the problem. Right now we're using workline. Workline is literally a construction where we absolutely abuse whatever the fuck we're looking at to, like, make it fit whatever we need. So I'm kind of thinking about multi-line or where the thing could fail. Oh man, I'm overthinking it for sure. It's never going to fail. It's never going to fail. Famous last word. I have the position, but I have the position within a modified line. Right? Aren't we at like 2k lines? 2000? But most of them are going to be deleted very soon. They're useless. What fucks my brain right now is the ability to multi-line. And my fear that some file inside of the kernel are just going to be cursed and be like wrongly done. Yes, surely. Well, yes, surely. I could delete them now. We're literally not using the same fucking architecture. And when I say architecture, I don't mean like physical CPU, I mean style of DB. So everything I've done prior is fucking useless and was dumb. Okay. I'm just stressed about how I'm going to... Okay, I've got multiple questions here. First of all, MB. That's a question for you. Based on the DB style. That's a... Like, I prefer your thing, but there's some hole that I don't understand. Fire away. Okay. So right now, what we're doing is we're identifying all of these individually, right? But what would you do for comments or just empty line? You would probably put that in the last section of your thing. Sorry, I don't have the words. I'm finding it right now. right? So you would put it like in split links, probably, or maybe no, that would be dumb. It would be in thing, but it would be defined as just a text container, right? There is a tag for that in the thing object. Okay. So we would still detect those. Okay. And put them as if they were tags. So we're going to need to make sure that our thing like captured everything. We're gonna need to do a second pass on it. Okay. About that, I'll... Oh, okay, you're correcting the prior... Okay. Okay. So that was a thing. Second thing that I kind of have no idea how you would do is, let's say that this didn't exist in one version and you just add it in the next. Oh yeah, it's okay. So let's say this doesn't exist and it gets added. Aren't we kind of fucked because we set the line numbers for a thing? So we're gonna need to edit all of the other line numbers. So then we need to edit all of the other object because of that specific change. So that's another thing that is kind of floating in my head. No. I guess you don't set the line numbers, but you enforce an order. Like you could say, serve. Wait a minute. So would that mean... Oh. Okay, so... Okay. So when you would do the search, because you would have multiple things on the same line, you would be able to say, okay, this one is on the same line. We do a rule that when something is on the same line, and it was older, it goes down. So then automatically, let's say that we add this in there, everything below line 19 shift down 2 steps, right? That would be the idea. Because that would make sense. Like if the line numbers were kind of relative if something is updated. But I think I get it. But if you have more to say, I'm all in. I'm just thinking about all of this. Kind of, there's some issues with that without the split table. Oh. Okay, so you have an entry in the split table that would be there to tell us how to treat it. Okay. I don't have a thought about it. Molt book? Isn't that the... Isn't that the thing that was act? Because at one time, there are too many insert. Yes. At one time, you couldn't... Well, if you keep an order in a system, of course you can always, like, recreate the file, but it's probably not a good idea. Oh, I understood what you wrote. The place where LLMs are talking to each other. Yes, Ningma. That was ACT. I put a picture in. It was in my router feed. And I would trust router with my life. We talked about percentages. If it's on router, I believe it at 95. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not interested in these things. These seem to be gimmicky. Fair. I don't know. Maybe it's time for us to work on that DB thing for real. Maybe. Maybe. What the fuck am I doing here? Okay, let's open that Globo Omo and main. I'll put an alarm on my phone so I stop thinking about my daughter. God damn, that sounds bad. Off of my mind, daughter. I just found it funny, that's okay. Because I was not aware of it until it apparently came crashing down. Was really not lying in this statement. I just don't care. Like, I don't know anything about it. I don't care about it. I have no opinion about it. I haven't read into it. Nothing to say. On phone. Okay. Alright. Be right back. All good. Take your time. Like, I have so much fucking yap for so much things. I need to learn to shut the fuck up sometime. Or else I would always, like, talk about politics. Because I do motherfucking love that politics. Alright. Alright, so I really want to dump that table concept. It was good for my design, but like looking back, it sounds insanely retarded. One thing that I want to do... Okay, I should probably just outline how I want the thing to work. And then, if there's disagreement, we could disagree on it. And then we would just have to follow the fucking list to implement it. I gotta learn that too, but my autism just can be stopped. You don't have to, right? You don't have to learn about politics, about a bunch of shit. It's up to you. Like, there's... Well, about politics, I would say that if you do not vote in situation where your government is facing authoritarianism, fascism, or any other bad fucking thing, you are lacking in your duty as a citizen. So, assuming that you're smart enough and educated enough and looking into things enough, you don't have to go overboard, but just have to make sure that your liberal democracy that is Sweden keeps on rolling, okay? That's your duty as a citizen, in my view. Alright. Outside of that, you don't have to learn anything. You learn what you want to learn, everybody is specialized, and that's okay. So is life. Okay. So let me think about the processing thing. So, how we want to process. Does it take 2 C's? I don't give a shit. A file. A version. Can you repeat that? I blanked at the word politics. Is this a joke, or do you really want me to repeat? Because this could be construed as both. I'm not offended, but I just want to know if you're really interested or you're making a remark. How we want to process a version. So, 1. The word is now a PTSD of mine. Shouldn't be. Politics is and can be fun. Alright, so how we want to process a version. First thing that we would want to do should be get a list of changed file, including deleted and created. Modified. And that's a joke. Okay. So you're not interested about a long yap. That's all good. I'll do it anyway. No. Okay, so first you get a list of changed files. Second, we would get the history of said file. So query what is already existing for that file. Divide the task into multiple process for parsing. Back. Ooh, that's fun. I am not interested in being beaten up upon just wishing for people to be peaceful. Yeah, but your joke is shit. Not only is it shit, but it's false. Oh my god. You don't know how to do jokes. Alright. Divide the task into multiple process for parsing. Parse the individual files. I guess we could do that multi-thread. To use less memory. Yeah. So this should be here. 2, 3, 4. And live. No, but okay. Fucking hell. When you say live, do you mean that you sent something? Okay. Good. You have not. That's good. You just say that you're there. Okay, understood. No. Good. It's okay. Nigma. Okay? Here is an overview of why when you say joke right after saying something, it triggers me, okay? It's because it's a little bit as if I came in and I was like, oh, your dad's a pedophile. Ha 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 ha. You see, even when we put joke at the end of it, it's still shit. So, and please do not say, well, I don't know in the chat because I'll kill myself. I never stated that. Okay, that's the second level of things. No, I know that you never stated that someone was a pedophile. I'm just saying that saying something dumb and then saying, it's a joke, guys, just makes either me feel like you're trying to say a statement, but you're not, like, able to get the social backing for it, or you're just trying to do the thing where it's like, I wasn't serious, guys, about saying something retarded. I wasn't serious, I swear. And it's so dumb. Just say what you think with your chest. And when you make jokes, make some real jokes that you believe in. Not things that you, like, are not funny and just looks like statements. Well, sorry, Maple. But the thing is that I really shouldn't use PTSD when PTSD is... Okay, that's good. I see it's time you're actually voting. just about making a fucking rant, right? Hi, Q King. I'm happy that you're here. All right. So fuck the rant, fuck the rant. I won't talk about this Nigma, okay? This part is closed. You're good, you don't have to write anything about it. Love you. Okay. So now, just so that everybody's on the same line, I'm just trying to, like, we're trying to create the architecture of what the fuck we want this to look like and how the fuck we want this to work. So right now, I'm just going to, like, what do we want in a process loop, right? What do... I smell Docker and I'll credit password. Based. No, that's just for testing. We're gonna have a better solution soon. Anyway. Okay. So what we need to think about is how our system is going to loop through things and how we expect it to work. That way, we're going to be better able to just follow what the fuck we write and write code linked to it, instead of having to think about like a whole philosophy of things each time that we need to do something. So how do we want to process a version? Let's just go through what I've already written and see if it makes sense. So first, we get a list of changed files, so including the modified, delete, and created files. I should put moved. Then we divide the task into multiple process for parsing. So we split that big fucking list, put it into different process. Then we parse the individual files. We get all of the information, all of the parsing information for each. Now, there's probably keep in mind about the possibility of not needing parsing, like we call it R100 in Git. Okay. Which is just a move file. 4, you get the history of said file, so you get the past of the file. Query what already existed for that file. Yes. Then should we process at that level? Okay, so 5. Create updated list of what need to be changed in the DB. Okay. Let's just write down whenever it's multi-core. Recombine all the list. Do a final check for the for the file that might be pointing to another files AST send to DB. All right. Of course, because I want everybody to fucking know what I'm doing. Even if the comments are fucking unreadable. Can we put this in white? Where's my color scheme on this shit? I love it. I love it when I have no fucking idea what is what. Oh, comments. Okay, I need to copy it. Breeze Dark. YouTube. Comments. Can I put it white? Whew. I'm giga racist and I love it. Here we go. What the fuck did I just do? I did not select it, I guess. Yeah. I'll sniff half an ounce of coke to get that shit working. Okay, thank you. Yes, Python is easy to read. I prefer Pepsi. I like spruce beer. Tastes good. Alright. Who likes spruce beer? MB, are you a spruce beer fan? Bière d'épinette? That's such a grandma thing to have. I don't really like it. Yeah. I saw it and I was like, oh boy, I love this. So I bought it. Alright. So this should be somewhat more readable for YouTube now. Okay. Ginger ale is good. What brand do you have over there? But I have some in the fridge. Oh my god. You don't beat the allegation, MB. MB being a grandpa. Oh no. Probably it's... Well, if you don't know how to read the code itself, you're kind of fucked. Yeah, because Q-King, ginger ale over here, it's called Canada Dry. I'm just wondering, is that the same over in EU land? Ah, could have been cool. I don't know, where is Canada Dry sold? I think in the US they have Canada Dry. What? No! Ah! Ah! Okay. Canada, US, Panama, Mexico, Chile, Costa Rica, Japan, Turkey. A number of countries in Europe and the Middle East. Bro. In Iran. You know what? In Iran it must sell. It must, okay? You see anything Canada related, you're like, life must be good. Yeah, it seems that... Like, is this something that is very fucking common in Europe? That you have, like, one company literally owning everything about, like, an entire thing? Like, they just have one business, and that business is like, we own all of the thing related to our specialty. There is no competition. Live with it. Devolve into Python. Holy shit. What? Okay. Okay. Let's... I could yap for days. Let's go back. I don't know. I go back and... fuck it. I'm a yapper. I'll yap forever. I go back and forth. Because... like, there's a lot of people that say... having a... how do we say that in English? I don't want to sound retarded. Okay, I'm not retarded. So having a monopoly, right? Having the control over a market and over all the production, you're the only one selling, or being like, in the other way, a monopsony, I think that's the term, which is being the only buyer of a thing. Like, it's a very bad thing, like, economically, because you've cut down competition. But on another side, Like, let's think of Canada for a second. Let's say that you have a company, and it is, like, monopolistic. It has way too much power, way too much control over the market. You have two choices, being Canada's regulator at this time. Either you cut it up in multiple pieces, and you essentially destroy the chance that it can then infect the US, right? It won't just go to the US and start, like, getting more power there, because it will have to fight within itself. So, like, that feels very retarded to do, right? Why would you undercut your own system whenever the, like, foreigners, by that I mean foreign companies, might fuck you because their own country doesn't do that? But then I hear people say, oh, but there is advantage. The companies are more resilient. They're better in this term. I just don't understand how. That's like a blind spot I have. I feel like all of this is fucking retarded in a global world. And you should just be like, okay, fuck it. Let's have a bunch of monopolistic companies and hope that they infect other markets, because at least then we're gonna be able to leech some of the tax revenue. We're gonna be able to leech more profit from that. Like, if we were in a fair system where, like, the returns, the taxation wouldn't be, like, overly given to the country of origin, but would be given to the country in which the sales and these things are done, then maybe I would be way more into breaking up the companies. I think it would be an advantage. Like, that's a hard one. I would need to study on that. We don't have to have such a brand. All supermarket-owned products are marketed like a other company's product. Like, the whole wine section is 90% of the supermarket itself. In Canada, they've started doing that, yeah. And for supermarkets, it makes sense, right? If you're able to buy in bulk a product, brand it with your branding, you literally killed two birds with one stone, right? You've got bigger margins of profit because the margin of profit that once was the producer is now yours. And second, you create a group of people that will like your brand, thus come back just for the brand. So, like, supermarkets owning more of the chain, that's just logical to me. And I don't see how, why, and, like, I don't see why we should stop that. I would have to have an argument on why this is even bad in the first place. Because it shouldn't push down prices. Because you have a more optimized system. For tech, Dell is the main one here. I can wake up and not see Dell. Yeah, well, Dell is really good with businesses. And if they follow EU regulation, which for sure they do, they must have a lot of power. Also, I do not even look at the company of every product, so the knowledge on that is muddy. Yes and no, right? For that Nigma, you don't need to know a thing. Like, you don't need... Okay. If for sure you don't like pickles, why was I going to do an example with pickles? Your favorite fruit juice, because I know that you're a fruit juice lover, okay? Your favorite fruit juice. You don't have to know the brand to know that if you change the brand, if you don't buy at the same place, if you don't buy the same box, it won't taste the same. So maybe you'll go back to the same place that you bought it to get the same thing if it's the only place that you can get it. That's the mind of the grocer, of the grocery store, right? They are, like, saying, if people use this product and it's good enough, if they go elsewhere and they find a difference, or they make themselves believe in a difference, they will come back. That's good. I guess the exactly that you're saying, Q King is for EU and having a lot of powers. Okay. In Quebec, I have the impression that there is collusion between the few that are left. I say impression because I don't have proof. Well, we hear a lot of this, and like, in the US they say the same, and I'm just not, like, I'm having a hard time believing this, right? Because whenever we say, like, this is a great way to keep you grounded and make sure that you're not saying something fucking retarded. If the grocery stores were, like, colluding together and making more profit, wouldn't their stock show that? Like, if they had so much monopoly power and be able to, like, fuck over the little guy, let's put it that way, like, we should see, like, a 10x from an from the difference between that and an Alfie market. So we can actually, like, see, oh fuck, I don't know these names. Maxi, who is Maxi? It's Loblaw. Alright, can I go and have a look? Like, over the last 10 years, like, we should see a pretty steep rise. But, like, is that the rise of, like, that? I don't think that this rise is that crazy. Like, I'm sorry. Like, maybe it's different with others? Who's the owner of IGA? Oh, that hurts. Wait, what the fuck? IGA is... Okay. I was like, no fucking way that that's American. Subsidiary. Subsidiary of what? Empire Company Limited. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck is that name, bro? Okay. So let's take a look. Are we going to see, like, the same type of thing? Same type of growth? And, okay. People, like, sometimes have a hard time understanding. Let's go with TD, right? TD is a bank. Nothing more boring than a bank. Let's go check its stock. Over 10 years. Like... like, we're seeing the same kind of rise, right? But it's crazier for TD here because there's more profit to be made. There's been changes in the market. Speculations are higher. Volatility is higher. This is why there's more profit being made here, right? By these big companies. So, anyway, like, that's why I don't believe in it. I'll read more. I yapped a lot. I meant by margins. I guess you're talking about the manufacturer and not the end product labeling. No. Okay, Enigma, about that. You don't have to acknowledge the label to know that something is different. And you know this in your regular life. If you drink a juice and it tastes different, then you go look in your fridge and it doesn't come from the same place as before, you would, like, instantaneously, without thinking about it, be like, oh, maybe I should go back and buy from there. And if you say no to that, I'm going to say, I don't give a fuck about you. Everybody do this. Everybody. They don't have to know the company. I don't know the brand of my fruit juice. But if they taste like shit one day, I'll sure fucking know which one I have. Yeah, Nigma, I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just saying everybody works like this. And you probably do. It just magically did not happen to you, but everybody works like this. This is Pavlovian level of simplicity. It works. Have an exclusive product and often go to Walmart because their tangerine flavor stuff is the only one I like. True. A grocer stock shows that they are quite high compared to the EU. Huh. Okay, so are you saying that you believe that the trend that that we're seeing right now, do you think that these would be like a monopolistic power? I disagree. Like, when I see these trends, what I see is optimization in the market. I just see them like being more vertical than ever, seizing more parts of the product chain and making more profits because of that, thus bolstering the price of their stock. I don't think they have the same trend in Europe. That might be because of the fact that in the EU, your competition can come from another EU state. But that's just me yapping. I have no proof for that. I would we could take a look. I have some random thing that I just want to go to Walmart so badly. Never saw one in my whole life. It's not that fun. I went there for the boots for my daughter. They're one size too small. I really need to buy some new boots. I bought them like 2 weeks ago. So retarded. I should have tested them. Should have. Just wanted her to have boots. We don't go outside. I removed because I know Apple will take it as face value. Yes, I always. Don't you know about water trademark? Yes. Compare the curve. I will. Never had that happen to me. Okay. Like I said, it was an impression. Yes. You qualified it. I have no problem in against what you said. I'm just talking about the fact that, like, you know, like everyone has that vibe. Even the US, even like all across the world, it seems that everybody agrees on that, and it's kind of weird to me. I find it funny that the product almost never on sale at Metro and IGA at the same time. Well, brands are, but if you're like me and you're cheap, then yes, I agree with you. Right? If you always go for the cheapest is going to be their own brand for all of the reasons that we've already talked. It will probably happen someday, by probably itself. Yes, I don't think that in particular, just logical planning. Vertical integration is not monopolistic by itself. It is good planning. I would agree. I don't think same trend in Europe. Yeah, like if we would see like a 10x in price, then like if we couldn't compare it to the fucking bank chart, then I would probably be like, whoa, we're talking like what changed? Like we need an explanation, right? But when we're talking about like 2 giga thing that owns half of the supermarket each, half of the grocery stores, I mean, each. And they see upwards in stocks just because they have, like, more... They have integrated vertically in the market. Just makes sense to me. Having worked there while I was on burnout, I can confirm that you are not missing much, indeed. Is Walmart over there like IKEA over here? Yes, I know I'm reading old message. Maybe. No, Walmart for us is the cheap shit place. There's even... It's so retarded. ASML stock are crazy, and there, there's a good reason for it. But, okay, Walmart is... Wait, I have a French reference, but I think they're, like, at large in the EU. Please, please, I know you can. I know you can. Mammoth, no, it's, wait, what's the fucking name? Top 10. Carrefour! Fuck. Right? Walmart is Carrefour. Carrefour is Walmart. It's just a little more American. Right? It's just bigger. Scale. Put the roof a little bit higher. Put the aisle a little bit higher. Aldi? I don't know about Aldi, but I believe you. Probably. But, like, I'm not joking when I'm saying, like, the roof needs to be higher. Like, everything is bigger because we are in the new world. And it has gun. It once had, like, not guns, but, pellet gun? Lead gun? How do you say it in English? And I don't know if they do anymore. In Canada? Maybe not. Anyway. Like, and you have to remember that there is difference between the US context and the Canadian context. Not in Canada anymore, yeah. Slap a gun to anything. Yeah, because, like, Walmart in the US probably still has gun. they don't give a fuck. Right? That's their thing. Right? Like that's Walmart. Like it's higher. It's large as fuck. That's the vibe. And it's cheap. That's Walmart. Like, it's the only thing that is cheap. So what I wanted to say is that if you're upper middle class or rich, okay, there is stigma against Walmart. If you go to Walmart and if somebody sees you at Walmart and you're part of these, like, richer group, whew, you look like a fucking shit. So... yeah, it's not necessarily well seen. I don't know if it's true in the US. I know it's true in Quebec. Maybe not maybe not everywhere. Or maybe I'm, like, way too elitist. We can take a look at ASML. But ASML, like, whoa, hold on. Let's think about ASML. What are we expecting it to look like? Like the curve? Are we expecting a 10x? Are we expecting 100x on the 10 year? I'm expecting a 10x, right? Because ASML are the one that do the machine for, like, they do the lithography machine for making chips. So in the last 10 years, for sure, we have seen, like, a growth, a 10x growth. So let's take a look. When did it start? Oh boy. 10x since over there. So 83, well 75. Let's say 100. Let's round it out, okay? Let's say 100. We 10x to 1,000. Okay. I'm kind of there, okay? I'm a few months off. Kind of there. But that's expected, right? And that's how you see if somebody is having the control of an entire market. ASML has the control of the entire market. ASML is created in my village. Cool! And most Walmart in US don't have alcohol. Didn't know that. Here in NL, we don't care. We all try to get the cheapest thing possible and try to get it for free. Yeah, everybody agrees on that. But there is, like, there can still be stigma, right? I'm sure you probably have, like, some thrift store, like, where people donate their clothes and they resell the clothes, right? Like, most people wouldn't go there out of shame. So, like, rich upper class can still go to. That's fucking remote to me. Have you lived as a rich upper class? Just for my knowledge? How do you have this knowledge? It seems so remote to me. I have a hard time believing it. I'll believe you on face value, but fucking hell. Really? They have no shame. But friends. Alright. Alright. They're... Like, it might make sense that this is a more, like, American construct. And when I say American, I mean American at large. American, including Canada. Yes, all the code typing. In the US, it is cooler to go at Target than it is a Walmart. Yes. It felt hard here in Canada when they tried to come here. Are you saying that Target failed? Because I would hopefully disagree. Oh, no, maybe I'm a retard. Were Target the one that closed a bunch of fucking places? Oh no, maybe I'm a retard. Well, what's the name now? Because they do exist under another name. Okay, if we're like talking about this, I agree, okay? I agree that within this period, Target was fucking retarded. I just think that today, the idea of a Target makes sense. But they still exist. What the fuck's the name of the thing? Wait. Like, you're breaking my brain. Wait a second. Wait a second, I'm on Google Map on my second screen, okay? I'm doxing myself for this. Okay. Brain. Work. Oh, okay. What I'm thinking about is winners. Right? Thank you. You fucking bitch. Is there a Wikipedia for this? Right? Like, this definitely took the target, right? Like, the thing is, okay, target works in my brain. That's in my brain. Target and HomeSense works because of social media. Because people like this fake thrifting, this fake finding new things, going into a place and just spending money. For some people, they like it. Why? Who the fuck knows? But they do, okay? They do. And I think that, like, the winners, HomeSense, Target, they capture that. So it makes sense. Like, in my brain, that was a Target. It's so retarded. They're all the same to me. But it makes sense that in the 2010s, that you couldn't, like, have the same level of things. That just makes sense to me. That you cannot sell this lifestyle. Because if you... just think about it, okay? Women, they love spending. And if you're a young woman, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do the same thing that I see on the social media, which is spending. So you go at the place that you see in the little videos, which is a Target, and in Canada it will be an HomeSense, and you do the same thing, which is take the thing and put it in the thing. Easy. Just like for men, we call them loot boxes. All right. I buy furniture from thrift store and Facebook Marketplace. I can't imagine buying a couch for $2,000 plus. I agree. Like, to me, these things are all retarded. Like, people spend so much on... Like, in my brain, I just see it like, how many stocks could I buy? How much could I put into a savings account so that my daughter has an education? I think about that. Canada equals USA according to Trump. Yeah. Fucking hate Trump. They seem like a good friend. What the fuck? Target failure. HomeSense are the GOAT. But more focus. I disagree. I think they go for the same thing. Well, oh no. I'll shut up. You're right. You're right. Oh no, you dox yourself by just saying that. Because one particular man can just find you because air density, because... Yes, people can find me by looking at the Quebec Registry of Businesses and putting my name in. Easy, you have my address. HomeSense equal clothing store for the home. You mispronounce logical investments. Well, HomeSense do have clothes. Because they have winners inside of them, right? That's the idea. Yeah, both. Canada equals USA plus common sense minus stupidity. Absolutely. I would agree. Nothing more real than an American being retarded. Okay. MBE wear USA. Go fuck yourself. Don't you ever say that. There's no bigger insult than being called an American. I will defend his honor. You've besmirched my honor. Oh no. You know what? There is a monopolistic entity that I fucking love. Can I just say how much I love Alimentation Couche-Tard, okay? I fucking love them. Don't ever stop going up, brother. Okay. Alimentation Couche-Tard are literally, like, trying to buy up entire fucking countries out here. Like, on a daily basis, you just hear, okay, they tried to do an hostile takeover of this stock again. These motherfucker. They're unhinged, and I love them for it. Can compare a person to a country, but you will get a type exception. True! Canada equals USA plus common sense minus stupidity. USA plus 0. USA. I guess you tried to besmirch my honor. I don't see, like, you've put the greater than. Okay, I didn't get it. Well, hence why we have casting election. What the fuck? What's the point of that? I don't get it. God, isn't that like the most fucking American thing to Why can't we just say it? Like, this... suburbia. Oh, man. Like, that's a Walmart. And it's higher than the rest. Why? It's so dumb. Yes, I'm an LLM. The casting election is to solve the type. Okay. We're making programming jokes? I still don't get it. I started this stream with fucking Stephen Harper, okay? I'm not there to understand programming. Aren't we, like, trying to make a thing? Or are we not? Do I have the energy? I don't even fucking know. Yes, it's algebra 1-on-1. We just don't use it. Ever. Go ask the average person what the fuck this is, and they're going to say, it's an arrow. Okay. That's... Algebra 101. And that arrow implies... An arrow! It implies an arrow! Said that you shouldn't compare a person to a country because type exception is we cast a person with election. Don't try to explain this. I don't know what cast mean. What the fuck is cast? Typecasting is the process of converting a variable from one data type to another. Ah, okay. Okay. Now it makes sense. Because to me, cast is casting a spell. Thank you for helping Maple's dementia. I have read and watched so much about dementia and schizophrenia. My brain just melts each time I see it. It feels... it feels like the most horrible thing. Yes, I get it, Nigma. But you don't need to understand casting to understand whatever the fuck you just wrote. It is a funny joke. Okay. The casting... Okay. I still don't get it. I'm a fucking retard, okay? My brain's just not there for that. I'm a yapper. What the fuck do you want me to do? I'm so lazy. I just don't want to commit to making a bunch of shit. Holy fuck. Killing babies and kitten is on par with kernel stuff. True! We need more genocide function. Get me in. I was reviewing this code and I was like, huh? Like sometimes I'm reading back some things and I'm like, didn't we fix this? Oh man. Like this part, I have no fucking clue. We need to clean all of this. I need to rewrite this shit and see. This is the thing we need to do. But we're not doing this. We ain't. Alright. Give me more content. Give me things to talk about. I'll go drink water, okay? Give me a second. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Okay. Void nothing yet somewhere. Let me be. I need to simplify my setup. There is always something that don't work. How is yours? You're giving me some content. I love it. I fixed the last thing that was fucking up with me, which was the fact that I had two kernel. I had an LTS and a non-LTS, so I killed the non-LTS. So now it always boots on the right place and my cam always works. So that was one thing. Second thing was the script that you gave me that was really good. I rewrote it a little bit to be able to have the directories being synced. So that was fun. Thank you for that again. Yeah. Right now my only issue is I have a fucking video to make. And I'm starting to be sick. So tomorrow is going to be complicated, I guess. On my side, 2 Promox with a dev VM, 2 NAS, 2 computer laptop, has a terminal. I've kind of gave up on having a lot of computers. Like I used to have 1 server as a NAS. The server I also connect on right now, and my main computer, 1 or 2 laptop, depending on how much I wanted to suicide myself. I also had an additional computer that was used for gaming on the TV. And like 16 computers downstairs that I don't really use. But I kind of came to a place where I was like, I don't have time in my life for that. Let's clean up the house and use 1 computer and shut down everything else but what I use. If you're going to be sick, you will need to clone your voice and do an AI voiceover. I will lose all of my subscriber. No subscriber left. No, okay. Nigma, it's not about detailed. I don't care. I don't fucking care about your mathematical expressions. I don't want to learn. When I will want to learn that, I will. Okay, but if you want to program from elsewhere, why would I be elsewhere? I haven't left the house. Okay, you need to get that I wasn't separated from my daughter ever since she was born. Before like 3 weeks ago. I don't. I just don't. I stay at home. Or I'm doing something where I couldn't do anything else than take care of my daughter. So, yeah. Like before I used to do this, I used to have some access and shit. But I will either be home or be on my way home because I don't like my life. So, yeah. I guess one day I'll have a normal life. One day I'll seek out a girlfriend and do normal shit, okay? One day. But this day doesn't seem near, okay? It doesn't. For now, I'll be a nerd. I'll be chilling in here. Yep. I don't know. I feel like there's nothing more. Oh, man. Okay. There's something fucked in my mind, okay? Is that I don't want to be with anyone, okay? I just don't. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to talk to anyone besides on a fucking stream because I'm a yapper. I feel like I'm so lucky to have a daughter. I would have become such a misogynist. Holy fuck. I'm so lucky, okay? Because every time that I think like a fucking misogynist, my brain is like, now think from the point of view of your daughter in 20 years. And then, like, faith restored. Anyway. No, I guess that's probably like all men when they have a breakup. So, I'm not special. I'm not special. Yeah, I think that may be something that we agree on. MB. Well, not agree on, but we have the same thing happen to both of us. Like, when I met my wife, I wasn't searching anybody. I was grinding. I was grinding. I was in my full fucking red pill arc. Being like, fuck women. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna be rich. Fuck you. That was the shit. But hey. Love just falls into your hand. And I'm good looking, so I'm lucky. I forgot that you're divorced. I am sad now. Well, it's not sad. Like the only person that should be sad about my divorce, well, not should, but could be my daughter. Because she doesn't have a fucking mother. But apart from that, I'm good. Right? When you divorce someone, when you separate from someone, it's probably because you're better off without them. They are a drag on you, right? That's why. And it's okay. I was looking at Bubble because my daughter was using it. I don't know what you mean by Bubble. Oh, Bumble. Because my daughter was... I'm sorry, MB, but that... Oh, that writing sounds fucking unhinged. I was looking at Bumble because my daughter was using it. I know that's not what you mean. My brain just goes to it. But I'm thinking like... I was looking at Club Penguin because my daughter is using it. And I find her there. How old is she, brother? I didn't see like that. I know you didn't. I know you didn't. But it's... Oh, it's... You gotta say the phrasing was in. It was funny. I will never get a wife. I will not even consider it. I will consider having a life multiplied by 2 first before I consider sharing my life. Yeah, the thing is that you... yes, I know that your daughter is not that age. I was just making the example, but like for me, like more unhinged. But yeah, well, like I'm joking. I'm not saying. Just to be clear, to anybody that doesn't understand or that watches this VOD, MB Ware is a good father and a good person. I've seen him. Okay, he is a good person. I will vouch. I will vouch for him. Okay. Yes, Nigma, we all think that, right? Before I had my wife, I was like, I don't need a wife. I don't need all of that. I'll be rich, and after that, I'll go for that. And our path just fucking boom like a fucking train. Yes, it's a shitty joke. It is. That's why I'm that's why I'm saying to... That's why I'm trying to, like, remove the possibility of somebody seeing it as truthful, because it is not. Okay, divorce is most of the time better for the children. Separation is better than constant conflict. Yeah, I agree. But I don't think that we had constant conflict. Like, I'm a bitch. I'm a big... Like, I'm the type of person, if you say, well, not you, but if somebody that I love says that I'm wrong, I'm just going to go with it. I'm wrong. I'll blame myself, and I'll work like twice as hard to try to be a good person, and to try to fix whatever is unfixable, because it's not my fault. So, there's no conflict. There's just eternal pain for me. So, yeah. I don't know if, well, my daughter would have probably seen the effect of me being unhappy because of that shit state that it would put me on. Yeah, I agree with you, MB. I just don't think that, like... I'm just sharing my own experience. Wasn't that much conflict. But the children would sense. And I wouldn't want my daughter to think of men like what I was when I was with her. With my ex-wife, right? Technically, she's still my wife. Divorce takes a long time. You have a creaking door, you gotta oil that up. I am so tired of you using jokes to convey there is no base under the text. Shitty jokes. It was just me joking. Because you were whining about using jokes. There's later just you because... Okay. Nigma. Okay, Nigma. The reason why you triggered me is because you go back and forth into the joke, not joke. And the jokes that you made are not jokes. It is fucking funny to say that someone did a statement like a fucking pervert, okay? It is legitimately funny. And when I precised it, it was to remove the possible baggage that I could have thrown on his shoulder, because I respect him and I do not want him to have an image of something he's not, even by autists that might be watching this later. That's why I said it's a joke, it's not true, and I explained the joke. That's why. Okay? That's all there is. All there is. So before, when I'm saying it, is because your joke has no funding and it's not funny. If your joke was funny, maybe I would not give a fuck. Okay, now I yes, I will vouch for you, MB. I'm confused. The stream is getting way more unhinged than the others. Am I not always unhinged whenever I just read chat and fucking yaps? But I love it. I always yap. We're all tired here. Yeah, I think I'm tired. Not as tired. Like, there's different levels of tired. Like, I can tell you. Like, not yesterday, but 2 days before. God damn. Whew. At the end of that stream, I was like, bro, I'm at that point where I could hallucinate. I need to sleep. So, yeah. Okay. I'm at the point that energy drink and sugar are the only... Oh, I don't like that. Whenever I... Like, using caffeines and shit to keep you awake, that's kind of a big no for me. And it's also because too much caffeine gives me the shake. I'll never do anything. Holy shit. The thing is, caffeine has an opposite effect. Caffeine is supposed to make you feel more focused and more awake. It's not true that you are, but it makes you feel. And when I say it's not true, I mean that by saying... When I'm saying that's not true, what I'm saying is you don't have more perception capability, but you feel you do. Caffeine plus ADD medication equals bad. Like, I take a coffee in the morning, but more than that, doesn't work. I'm getting calmer somehow. Oh, different people have different... Like, when you say why though, it depends who you are. And Q King, are you ADHD or ADD? Because prior to my medication, it helped. Like, caffeine helped. If you're not medicated, I would tell you, give it a try. You might love it. Like every time I missed one day, okay? One day I missed my fucking medication. It was like the worst fucking day of my life. So like I'm never going back. Oh yeah, sorry if I wasn't clear in that. That's exactly what I agreed on. So, yes. Medication is life on easy mode, yes. It feels insane. It feels... Okay. Your brain... Why does your brain need to be in fucking slush all the time? Why does it need to be in the thickest fucking syrup? And then... it just fucking... Woo! It works. God damn. I am on an extremely low dose. I do not want to diagnose myself with it. I don't think that's a good vision of things. Is it because you're trying to... Because you're in a line of work that requires you, like, not to have a diagnosis? Like in Canada, if you're part of the army, you cannot have a diagnosis like this. Or at least cannot be medicated. Okay, let me yap for you, Q King. I'm gonna yap for you. And maybe you'll put something in, and it will absolutely... Okay. I used to think that it was a bad thing to take medication, and it was a bad thing to, like, seek these diagnoses. That was so retarded. Because your brain is made in a specific way, and your brain needs a specific fuel. And whenever you give your brain diesel, while it's a fucking gas engine, it ain't never going to work correctly. So just stop fighting yourself on the naming of things and fucking take the medication and live a real life. That helps so much. Like, there's a bunch of things in life that you or, well, a lot of people don't want to think about, right? I didn't want to think about divorce. I put it in a place in my brain where it wasn't possible. There's no way it could happen to me. If I just try harder, our life will be good. It's my fault. I was wrong. So, yeah. Sometimes seeking it is the best thing. I kind of solved everything at the same time. She was out. I went to the dentist like 17 times to redo these nice teeth. And got the diagnosis. So my life took a fucking turn. That month was very good. Okay, caffeine often causes people taking the ADD medication feel sleepy, increase anxiety, increase blood pressure, reduce duration, etc. Maybe I should try without it, because I haven't given, like, no coffee that much of a try. I reduced the quantity of coffee that I've taken, but maybe I would, like, just feel better without it. Who the fuck knows? Like, it's a fun little thing, right? To have your warm coffee in the morning. Maybe I'll make myself a warm hot chocolate. Nobody talking about autism here, Enigma. Please, you know how to read. Read in between the line. I love you, Enigma. Okay, I'm not mad. Oh, okay. I love the meds, but diagnosis is just stopping me from increasing the dose. I'm only at 20% of the body mass. I already noticed it, but above this, I need a diagnosis. Huh. And sometime accepting reality, stop worrying about others' opinion in your life is the best option. Like, we can say that, but that never... Like, that is just not true, right? Like, we cannot really stop worrying about others' opinion. So... Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Right? If I came in this stream, and the whole stream, like, MB, Q King, Enigma, both of you three would be like, Maple, you're a fucking retard. You're a subhuman fucking retard. Kill yourself. I would feel bad, okay? I would feel bad. Maybe more because of MBE and Q King. Nigma, I'm sorry, but if you call me a retard, I don't care that much. Ned! No, don't be sorry. I'm just yapping. For me, I had 2 burnout that I would probably not have, I guess, if I had been medicated back then. I got my diagnosis after a friend told me I was exactly like his son that had severe ADD. Yeah, and I have that feeling too, MB. The feeling that there is so much shit that I wouldn't have gotten into if I would have gotten medicated. Bro, it's unhinged. Oh, man. But hey, I got some experience, I guess. I can literally just go upstairs to my server room, and I somehow ended up doing another thing and not fixing my switch. That's an issue. I'm more of a lazy person. That's my issue. Like, I sit down and not do anything when my medication's not working. You see? So, yeah. The most dopaminergic thing, the thing that gives me the most dopamine, this is what I will do. Personally, in your shoes, I wouldn't give a frick and say that it was rude. Yeah, maybe. But everybody else in the world are not like that. It literally... It happens for everything, though. Shopping, etc. Yeah. I'm literally sidetracked 24/7. Yep. Like, I'm lucky because for me, saving money is kind of a game. I love it. And it, like... I like engaging in that. So spending feels bad. So I don't have that issue that a lot of people have where they just like kind of spend on a whim. Also, my daughter just had her diagnosis at 23. And it is often hereditary. Yeah, it's kind of scary to be late on that thing, right? Like, you don't want to diagnose a child that doesn't have it. Because there is some ambiguity, right? But also, if you don't do it, they might not go to university. So... My life is one big side quest. That's not necessarily good. Spending equals bad, except when it comes to computer stuff. I try to keep it for everything because I would go on eBay and buy way too much. So in my brain, if if at the end of the month I don't have some money to put in investing account, I'm sad. That's okay. Yeah, I agree with that, and I think everybody agrees with that in BE, but it's weird. I don't know, right? I don't know. Because I was really good at school. To me, going at school, high school I mean, was like, I looked at the board, I looked at the image on the fucking book, and I just knew how to complete the assignment, and I would have 80% at all of my fucking things, or more. It was just like, I could just divine the fucking knowledge of the thing. It was easy, right? Probably because it was made for people like me. But college, CJEP? Bro, no fucking idea. Couldn't do shit. So, like, I don't know if having that before would have been an advantage, but for sure, if I would have gotten it the summer before CJEP, before college, that would have been big ups. But if you get it before, maybe I would have been interested in reading, and maybe I wouldn't have been a fucking supra-Nazi, right? Maybe? Right? So, there's also that part, right? Personally, only really start developing at 9 years old, in my experience. Before then, you're kind of just seeing how others react to you. And for me, you have a person. But it's not quite solid. Yes, but we're talking, Ned, we're talking more for, like, ADHD and diagnosis in link to getting medication. But, like, for a child that has autism, knowing it early is really fucking important. Because it is the difference. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just going to be fucking blatant, like, be harsh here. But it is the difference between having a failed child and a child that has a life. Because you can be autistic and have, like, one mania in life. And if your parents are not able to, like, veer you off of that mania, I'm using mania very loosely, sorry. But if you, like, don't veer off of that focus on a bad thing, you lost. But, like, okay, I saw, like, half of the message from Nigma. I don't want to read it all, but like, from my understanding, autism doesn't require medication, or if you require medication, it's for, like, things aside of, like, it's not for autism itself that you need medication. You need for something else that comes maybe with it. But the reason why the diagnosis is important is not for the... That's in my, like, observed experience. I don't fucking know what the psychiatrists say, right? But the importance of the diagnosis is not for the autistic person itself. It is for the parents. So that they know how to act and they know how to help. I will probably wait till I have the job I really want. The diagnosis makes me... will make me go to a whole other screening I do not want to. Whoa! Is that true? So you're telling me... So in an interview question in the Netherlands, they can ask for, like, medical history. That sounds like a fucking lawsuit waiting to happen in Canada. I'm sorry, I have a very hard time believing that. Why? Netherlands. Job interview. Why can you ask for medical? Health data during job application. As an employer, sorry, I'll share what I'm reading. As an employer, you can hardly ever ask about the applicant's health during a job interview, and applicants usually don't have to say anything about this. A medical examination, pre-employment medical examination during the application procedure is only permitted if the position imposes special requirement on an employee's health, on an employee's medical suitability. Not when it's the government itself. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would like okay. I made the example for the army in Canada. I don't want you to say too much detail, but that makes sense. But that's just sad to me. That's just sad to me. Like in Canada, if we could remove that stigma and remove those retarded rules that if you're ADHD, you like cannot. Well, you can, you just cannot be on medication, and that just feels retarded because it's not something. Like, you know what? If it's medication for something that you're going to die if you don't have, maybe. If it's medication for something that you're going to shot like the guy that you have in front of you if you don't have, maybe. But for something that just makes your life better, why the fuck? Okay. Negative. No early when you can still steer the child trajectory is what I'm thinking. I wholly agree. Negative autism does, positive may. My specific positive. I don't believe anybody agrees with positive or negative autism as a thing. I mean, in Canada, don't you need a license to climb up a tree? No, not really. I think we're on the good side of how many licenses we have. Probably could have a little less, but we're not the UK. I will drink my coffee now because autism is popping off. Autism diagnosis is also important for the person. Also because some other condition and medication can be harmful or misdiagnosed. Yes, true. True. I mean, I'm only thinking about a child, that's why I was speaking that way. But yes, as an adult, it's probably a good idea to have a firm diagnosis, just so you don't get misdiagnosed with a bunch of other things for retarded reason. Not the gov itself, but owner about it. Yeah, it ends up being the same thing. Here it's if the diagnosis is there at all. They don't care about the meds. That's fucking unhinged. That's a point I missed, but personally, I have nothing else. Okay, Nigma, you're missing the point if you're saying that. The point that MBE is saying is that the diagnosis being there offers more information to a medical professional whenever you have an issue. So let's say that you are in a car crash and they could get access to your medical record, and in your medical record it states, this guy's autistic, don't fucking hold him down like he's a fucking dog and beat him. Maybe it will help, right? I don't know how it could help in their thing. I'm not a fucking doctor, but like, that's the idea. Just having the diagnosis is already positive. Other than the diagnosis, that means you have a high imagination for detail. Is that really a thing? High imagination for detail in an imagined picture. I don't think that's a thing. My friend with autism have photographic memory. Like I can ask him to draw exact sunset from 2 weeks ago, and he does it. In my okay, again, this is from the experience of the like 10 autistic peoples that I've fucking interacted with. Like to me, it just feels like autism is you take a normal brain. There's a part that is there for the social. You cut it, throw it in the trash, and you grow the other parts a little bit bigger, right? So that's pretty much how you can think of it. So some people will have photographic memory. Some people will have literally no gain because they're retarded. And other people, more RAM. True. One might say work RAM. And anyway, but yeah, like I've seen, like I know an autistic guy, and his thing is math, right? You can just, you give him like, multiply 2 fucking 6-digit number, he's going to do it. You're like, what? But yeah, he just does it. Some are good at chess, some are like just, and also there's probably a social thing there that most people will like have a very strong balance of the social aspect of whatever they're using. Sorry, not using, but doing. And when you're autistic, that social aspect is probably way lower, right? Because you literally aren't aware of the layers of like the social acceptability of what you're doing, the social context, the other person thinking about you or not thinking, like all of these things are like more foreign, more abstract. So you probably have more focus to whatever the fuck you're trying to do. So that probably also helps at being better at certain things that you focus on. They're the NPC of reality? It all makes sense now. A little bit. The true NPC are the lobotomized people. No, not really. I wonder to what you are saying that. My autistic skill is randomness humor. Yes. Yes, it can be, but it can be quite the opposite. If you're interested on that, some autistic people can tell if you murdered somebody by how you breathe. Yes, but here you're... Okay. I'm trying to explain social to an autist. Holy fuck. Okay. Yes. Okay. Somebody that's autistic can watch someone and get way more detail out of them than a normal person, but they do it by focusing on things that are not socially normal to focus on. The thing with being autistic is normally not having enough social context, right? Not being able to... Okay. Fuck! It is... Okay. It is so triggering because if I were physically in front of you, it would be so retardedly easy to like play fucking games with your mind. We all know how to detect autistic people. Okay? You look at them straight in the fucking eyes, they have a hard time making a fucking eye contact, and when you make subtle, like, not underhanded, but like subtle statement, not overt statement, they have a hard time understanding any of it. So, like, that's like, I don't know how to explain to you The point of autism is not being able to understand social cues, okay? You can still see them, you can still register them, right? So the issue that we're having is there is a system, there is a block in your brain, okay? There is multiple blocks, multiple cores, and one of this core is gone. It is replaced by a new type of core that's called the autism core, okay? And that autism core, I put it red, but it doesn't have to be bad. It could process the exact same thing, right? It could process the social thing. Still. What the fuck was I writing? Social. Okay, it could process the social thing still. But it will get to different outcomes because it doesn't do it in the same way. The normal brain will process it in a specific way that is the same for all fucking humans, unless defect. This is the magic. Did I change the color? Oh, fuck. What color did I use? Okay, that's good. Okay. I guess I'm debating to autistic people. I love it. I'll send this to my friend. I'm all good. I'm going to be fighting in the arena. I'm trying to note a point that you have missed. Okay. I'm all in. I'm all in, okay? Let's focus in and write the disagreements on chat. This sentence has multiple meaning. You smell funny. Yes. It has... Okay. It has multiple meaning. You can see these multiple meanings. I'm not saying that it's impossible for you to see these multiple meanings, right? What I'm saying is that you won't process it using the same program that everybody kinda has. And that's the reason why autism exists as a diagnosable thing. Oh, see ya, Q-King. Because whenever you pass it through a different filter. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we have autistic people, right? We need to have people that are not bound by the social limitation. We run a social VM, and this social VM is kind of shared between everyone. And some people not having it can be a good thing. Maple, I can stare at walls for hours. And I know that because I have done that for some reason. I can too. Everybody can, right? Often autistic people don't have the notion of the social contract that we have. The shame and the personal space is often missing. Personal space, that's a bit different. I think that they have a concept, but it's like it's warped. It's different. But like social contract, that's the big part, right? And I think that that's the part that, as a parent, if you're able to inculcate that this exists, right? Not just say, like, as a fucking dog, like, oh, always say thank you, always say this, but kind of understand, oh shit. Like, I said something that I thought was pure positive, and this person now seems sad or is saying something that makes me think they're angry. Maybe I fucked up on the prior statement. If you're able to like create that link in their brain, you're so Gucci. It helps. Also, this is specifically what I mean by not getting a diagnosis. I do not blame you for not understanding. Okay, you're gonna have to explain what the fuck that means. By the way, it's interesting to hear you talk about autism, because it's prime knowledge on naive view on it. You're gonna have to say where I'm wrong, brother. Also, no, you don't get it. I can stare for hours. I'm starting to think that you're just socially inept and not autistic. Maple, how do you rate your autism level? I don't have any autism to me. I am sensible to social issues a bit too much. Probably, but I'm still a guy, right? I'm still a guy. And being a guy means that we're all fucking weak on the social scale. That's an issue that I need to work on. But anyway. My friend, go to anybody and ask anything without any worry about the implication of question comments. If I want, I can just stare at anything, stand still, straight spine, on command. Everybody can do that. That get him into an airplane cockpit, the best photo opportunities, allow him to meet people. That inaccessible. I'm not sure I understand that one, MB. And yes, I know this because I did. Why boredom? What time is this? This is the time that I decided to stream, Stan. That also makes him impossible to work with. Yes! Yes! That's the thing. He's the most brilliant and intelligent person I've met, and his humor compatible with mine too. Yes, that's a big thing with autistic people. Like, being able to synchronize with them is highly complicated, and you often have to, like... Okay, to have an autistic person work with you, you often have to have a full other person as a buffer. You're not wrong. Never stated that you're naive. No, saying... Okay, that's saying naive and saying you're not wrong. You need to say more. Right? Like, it's unhinged. It's unhinged. You, just by how you're writing... Just by how you're writing, you are showing that you are either socially inept or autistic. Like, anybody that can read this can see how wrong it is if you don't have a fucking proof for it. Autism, for one, as to physical side, autism, unlike ADHD, is based on a number of neurons you have. What? No? Whoa, 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 whoa. That's fucking giga retarded. The number of neurons. So you're... Okay. Am I going to find that there's a number of neuron change, or am I going to see that their link are stronger, that there is a bigger link density? Because that's not the same thing. Bro, am I going to be able to find a fucking source for this, or is it just this meme? I think it's just meme. Okay, let's go. Researchers use brain imaging data collected from more than 11,000 children aged 9 to 11, then compared the imaging of 142 children in that group with autism. Now, let's be motherfucking clear. If this is a raw comparison between the two, What the fuck did I just hear? Something fell. Anyway, if it is a raw comparison between the two, we can already assume that those with a diagnosis are probably more healthy children than all of the others, okay? But who the fuck cares? To the general population, and found that there was a lower neuron density in a region of the cerebral cortex. Okay, so in some region it's lower, it's probably higher elsewhere. And neuron density, like we would have to go into the definition of that too. Blah, 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 blah. In that specific gradient, autism is not subjective. Autistic people misassume what other person can assume. Socially, yes. I am trying to explain what negative and positive mean. Enigma just did that. Enigma spouting pseudoscience? I am confused. Yes, he is. I did not understand what Maple meant, because I am trying to explain why negative and positive means, and why it exists. There's no such thing as positive and negative autism. It's just autism. The symptoms can have a positive or negative effect, yes, but there's no, like, positive and negative autism. Well, you could say that there's Asperger and there is, like, full-blown, heavy, like, retard autism, okay? Those two are not the same thing, okay? We're talking about Asperger's here, okay? We're not talking about the full-blown people that have literally no social brain to the point where they're just shaking in place, okay? We're not talking about them. They're not the same thing, and they're... like, there's no reason why they use the same fucking word to describe these two people. It's so unhinged. Well, that's what I personally know. Autism is physically by neurons, and HGAD is by connection of each neurons. Okay. I should invite my autistic friend here. He knows all about that hyperfixation on autism. What's the problem here, Maple? Okay, what am I talking about? Negative and positive coefficient. That's all I mean. That's all it means. The baseline matter. Okay, Maple, tell me, what do you even mean by that? Because I was diagnosed with specifically positive autism. It's on paper. Okay, if they put that, it's because they wanted your parent to feel safe. There is no such thing as positive and negative autism. It's a meme that we create, okay? Let's Google this, okay? Positive autism. What am I going to find when I write this? Am I going to find that we're just trying to make people feel good about it? Or am I going to positive side to the spectrum, positive autism? Oh, we're trying to be positive about it, right? We're trying to positive autistic trait, like it's a good thing. Giving positive traits. This is just to make the parent not panic at the sight of their children having the name of something that is, like, socially very bad assigned to their child. That's all there is. Disentangling negative and positive symptoms in schizophrenia and autism spectrum disorder. Autism spectrum disorder and schizophrenia share traits. Are you fucking kidding me? Bro. Okay. Symptom severity is often assessed with positive and negative syndrome scale, which probe the three main dimensions: positive symptoms negative symptoms, and general psychopathy. Positive symptoms are added to the experience of a person and include delusions, conceptual disorganization, hallucinatory behavior. So, I don't get it. We're describing symptoms here, right? Like, there's no such thing as positive autism, right? There's no such thing as positive or negative autism. There is positive symptoms. There is positive autism written on a paper to make the parent feel good. Like positive, like making something instead of not having something. That could be a thing too. Enigma misassume what his word means to other people. That's the best way to phrase it. Also true. Also, Ned gets it. I guess because I do not get what Maple do not get. Sure. Look at link. Positive symptoms. Yes. Positive symptoms equals repeated movement and such. I guess I do not know anymore. I am not a doctor. So I do not have the damn nerdy name. So what should I change it to then? You do this thing so much. Okay, yes, functional autism is what people use when they want to say that somebody is autistic, but he is not, like, literal retard. Okay. 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 Alright. Let me explain this. Because Ned makes me remember that the reason why you're saying all of this is because you don't understand what I'm saying. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to copy-paste some of your words, and we're going to talk about it. Will I be able to make that fucking case? Okay. Okay, I'll be able to spell it out, and you'll see it will make sense. I guess I can put it there. Okay. So here, I was battling multiple claims that you made. So you said, negative autism literally means you do not have a brain. Not literally, but it's not as dense. There's a negative coefficient to the amount of neurons. So here you have multiple claims. Claim number one is that negative here is used as a correlation towards the amounts of neurons. So you're saying negative means less neurons, and positive means more neurons. So here was the first thing that I wanted to destroy. The two parts of this argument that was prevailed through your negative and positive autism claim. There is no more or less neuron coming from a diagnosis of negative or positive autism because, first of all, positive and negative autism isn't a thing, and negative and positive is only talking about symptoms, not number of neurons. So if we compare the statement that you made, statement of Nigma, towards medical literature, okay? This is not a thing. Not negative autism, not positive autism, not the fact that anything negative or autism related changes the number of neuron inside of your brain. All parts of this statement is false. What the truth is this. How did we get to the truth? We read half of an headline of a fucking paper, okay? That's what we did. When yesterday I was talking about the idea that you need to check data in order to validate a claim or an understanding, this is what I was talking about. You cannot just go off the dome without having read something about something, right? This is why my brain fucking flashed whenever you talked about more or less neurons, because this was not my understanding of how autism works. Autism is not there to remove or add neurons, it's there to change the links and the distribution. Now, negative and positive autism is a concept that I've never heard inside of any reading of anything related to autism, so this is why I was like, what the fuck are you talking about here? Now, you also tried to make the claim like standalone, that positive autism means more neurons, thus more capabilities. Because you were talking about the fact that you could stare at a wall, you could do a bunch of things that normal people couldn't, right? So you were trying to make that claim, when in reality, autism, like I've tried to describe a lot of time, I don't believe grants you precise ability, it grants you replacement of whatever the fuck your brain was supposed to have there. If you have 4 core of a CPU with 1 core that is normally made for social thing, if you don't use the core for social thing, of course you will be able to do more with your machine. Now the last thing that I want to go into in this fucking expose is that you say often, you're not wrong, never stated that, you're naive because you have the surface level, that I don't have an understanding of any part of this. The truth is, when you say that, what you say, and you don't understand it because you're autistic, but let me say what you're saying to anybody. You're not wrong, never stated that. So somebody that's marginally smart will understand I agree with what you stated. You are naive because you have the surface level. But you are wrong in your overall understanding of what autism is. This sentence is seen by every, and I mean every normal person, not autistic person. Sorry, normal is not the good word here. Not autistic person. It is seen as this. This is how we decrypt it. I agree with what you stated, but you are wrong in your overall understanding of what autism is. So that if you wanted to say this or not, I don't give a fuck. You cannot expect me to read this and then act as if you haven't just wrote that into chat. That you haven't just wrote, you're wrong. Right? Because what you're saying is, I don't disagree with anything that you said, but you're fucking retarded in your overall thinking. So you can say, that's not the word that I wrote, that's not this, that's not that. I get that. What I'm saying is that sometime I'm fighting a statement that you made because everybody else than you sees it as this. Okay. Let's read whatever the fuck was produced off of this. Ned said, labels contain different meaning to every person. Part of communication is figuring out how labels are used by that specific person. Yes. Should I specify the long phrase? I think we were further than that. Maple, tell me the correct name then. The correct name is autism. That's all there is to it. I do not see why you're arguing, because I have stated this is just what I was diagnosed. Yes, less neuron compared to the normal in known areas. That's, nobody uses that. You get that nobody... Okay, what are you saying here, right? In known areas. So for negative, less neuron... Okay, you're retracting all of your statement. Like, less neurons in normal areas. That, in known areas. Are we talking about if those neurons are being replaced elsewhere? Are we talking about if there's more in one place, if there are less in another? Like, this is where I could tell you, you are being naive. Anti-vaxxer citing article to prove their claim that in reality debunk their claim. All I can think of at the moment, yes. I'm reminded of it, not making a behavioral comparison. I know. The sentence is self-contradictory. If it was a statement that I made, I would like to know which one, and I would like to correct it. I said, compared to my level, you are naive. Not wrong, just misaligned. But you get... How am I? That's the issue. That's the issue, right? How? I'm asking for the fact. And I don't even get why you drag all these points to positive autism when I just ask, what should I use then? Because you're... Okay. Now, that could be considered gaslighting. That's not the only point that you made. Before bringing up positive autism, you were making the point that you had additional capabilities because of autism. Yes, exactly. Okay, Ned is on it. Right. Yes, because you drag everything to a singular point of conclusion. Yes, because I try to give you my overall understanding and then drag it down to where we were. What should I use to correctly convey the symptom of autism? That's on the high end. If you want to call somebody that is a non-functioning autist, you can call them non-functioning. You can call them a retard. You can call them somebody with a broken brain. You can call them however the fuck you want. They're not the same. But that was not the full discussion that we had before. What should I... That's what I have. I asked that multiple times now. I'm not denying. I am asking for what I should replace. Okay, so if you're talking about your own symptoms, if they said that you have autism, positive or whatever the fuck is written on that paper, you say, I am autistic. That's all. I'm not really bragging on the word. I'm bashing on your construction of what autism is, right? I don't know that you... I don't think that you still get... I think you still don't get that. My issue is not that you put negative or positive in front of autism, is that clearly you don't know how this works. And right after that, you say, well, you're being naive. So you're telling me I don't know how this works. So I'm like, brother. I also said, compared to my level, you're naive. You're not wrong, you're just misaligned. Was when you are renting. Looks like you're right, but you're wrong. Yeah, that's what everyone reads it as. That's what Nigma thinks it of when he writes it down. But Nigma, you probably have like a separation in your brain that tells you that your vision of a thing is not always true. So you can have these position true equals non-true if it includes the vision of somebody else. Anyway. Okay, Enigma, I have answered this multiple times. First of all, hi, I don't fucking know what this means. Autism. Okay, let me explain autism to an autistic person. That's going to be fun. Autism is a group of symptoms. Okay? So you have a group of things that are happening to you. Of things that are you, that happens. And when you check enough of these boxes, you are on the spectrum. So when you are on that spectrum, you are somewhere, you are autistic because you have that, you have enough ticked boxes, so you're somewhere, right? But it's all there is to it. Then we can talk to the specific symptoms, right? We can talk about, oh, it's your capability of understanding the social situation, especially in these cases, and maybe you have a hard time understanding the baggage between high contacts or anything like. Then we can go into specifics, but autism just means I have checked enough boxes to be autistic. Like I said, there is another thing that sometimes gets mixed into autism, right? Some people will say, oh, he's an autist, right? And he's just like... And when you're that autist, this thing, okay? I think it's the biggest disservice to the humanity that it's called an autist. It should be called a retard or something else that has no link to autism, right? Before, we used to call autist Asperger's, right? Because it's something else. So these two things are not on a spectrum with one another, okay? If so, this is in the trash, okay? If it's on a spectrum, you go back to your desktop and you fucking throw it to the trash, okay? Is there even two gradients? There is, technically in autism, the gradients is infinite. Because we're not talking about... I feel like you have this... Like people have this view that when we say autism is on a spectrum, what they seem to mean is that we have a spectrum that looks like this, right? So you can either be normal. I'm using very normative words, sorry. So you either have normal, you have the bad shit autist, and you have the autist, like good autist, and retard autist. Okay? This is not true. Not true. Right? This is not true. Not how it works, right? Because it's not just a line. It's a 4 trillion D matrix where you have multiple things, right? If we go to a list, autism diagnosis criterias. Can we get a full fucking list that doesn't, like, include 1,500 things to read? Of course. Okay, the same fucking thing. Persistent difficulties with social use of verbal and nonverbal communication as manifested by all of the following: deficits in communication for social purposes, such as greeting, sharing information in manners that are appropriate in a social context, impairment with ability to change communication. Okay, so social issues, okay? The deficit in functional limitation in effective communication in social participation in social relationship, academic achievement, occupational performance, individually or in combination. The onset of the symptoms in the early developmental period. Okay, the symptoms, like, there's multiple things, okay? Do we get where I'm trying to go with this? Or am I being retarded? Oh, shit. That's something else, but same thing works, okay? Same thing, same thing. Anyway. Yes. Okay, same thing. What I'm saying here is that it's not on one axis. It's 15 axis because it turns out that social, like, there's a reason why humans use one of their 4 cores for social. It's because it's a big fucking thing. Oh my fucking god. Is there even 2 gradients? Yes, you ask for the fucking axis. Okay? Is there even 2 gradients? I think, Ned, you're really fucking good at using your word correctly, okay? I'll take half a second to say good job on Ned, okay? Alright. Yes, Ned, you got it. You will have to read the full DSM book. I think I will. Not the apple themselves and their respective atom, but the count of apple. Okay, so there's the spectrum of autism that encompass all the types of autism. Now, one that is part of that spectrum is an autist, okay? He has autism, or she has autism, or they have autism, okay? Now, if you want to give the information on how fucking useful they are in society, you will say if they are high functioning or low functioning. This is the kind way to say it. Low functioning means retard. High functioning means you and Ned. Okay, that's a good one, that's a good one. You know, it's really hard to understand when you say I am wrong, but then doesn't say what the correct thing is for that wrongness. I have stated it again, again, and again. All the different words. There's no other way. It is like taking off a tire and not replacing it. Holy Evan, you're generally making me irritated. I am irritated because... Okay. Please, I never care about the types, never the range, but if it exists, somebody that is not autistic is just not autistic. Do you think everybody's autistic? Well, you could make a gradient, but that gradient is a subjective one. Just like there's a left and a right in politics, but it doesn't mean anything because it doesn't portray real change between two groups. Okay, this will be my good faith try. Autism, okay. You know I'm done whenever I don't. Okay. There's two types of autist, okay? There's the autist like you and Ned. And there's the autists that are retards. When I say retards, I don't mean that as a meme. I mean that they are literally chained somewhere. So what I'm saying is, now that we have defined these two groups, forget that this side exists. Forget about the retards, okay? We're not talking about them anymore. Within that group, we would call them Asperger's. There is multiple vectors, multiple types, multiple things that you could be. But then, to convey any kind of gradient here, to convey any useful information out of that vector, you would have to speak about the particular difference that this person has. Like, this person cannot have eye contact. This person is not able to understand the social context in 99% of cases. Or maybe they're only 50-50. Or maybe they just have no understanding why people cry. Right? All of these are different vectors different levels, but they're not... Like, there's no central gradient at that point. You're part of a box, you're part of a category. Now, if you wanted, you could say that, maybe this thing makes you, like, a worse, less useful person, or this thing's make you more useful. Maybe. You could do that. We can do that with all humans, right? But at the end of the day, the person that's in here is an autist. That's their category. Like, you could, if you wanted, you could say negative and positive. I'm just saying that you're not conveying any information. I'd give Maple a 0.6 out of 10 for autism. Some use of word in other ways, others don't. But generally very aware of how people use labels. Thank you, Ned. What word am I not using to convey what I am asking here? I'd put me at a 4, Nigma at a 6. Bro, okay. Freaking give up. I'm literally pulling them definition and standards. But these ratings are just subjective vibe. Yes. So they should be. They should not be taken seriously. Yes. And now questioning, is the negative and negative for two different spectrum within the same diagnosis? Yes. Yes, it's just vibe. It's just vibe. Yes. Thank you. This is not a sarcastic statement, okay? I am not being sarcastic. I'm being 100% serious. 99% of life is vibe. 99. Okay? It is. And this is also why social is important. Because social is a processing of said vibe. Anyway. Because the thing is, on the damn paper, it's written positive. I believe you. Which upon questioning, is a coefficient compared to 0, the baseline. Okay. Okay, Nigma, let's design a paper together, okay? Let's design a paper. Let's say that we have a paper, and we have a bunch of tests that we're running. So we have test number 1, we have test number 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have these tests. Let's say that if you test yes, yes, no, yes, no, this gives you a score of 3. How do we convey that there were 3 checks inside of an autism test at the end of the day? Because that's what it is, right? They're trying to see, they're trying to make a diagnosis. How do we convey that? So on the other paper, on the paper that you give to the parent, you're gonna say positive autism. Whoa, my brain. Autism. Autism is just not written together, apparently. And you're going to give the score, right? It can be calculated in another way. It could be point fucking things. We don't care, okay? So you put the score. Now, this looks good, right? This looks good to something that you can give a parent. Giving this to a parent, autism 0.3, is not a good idea. It looks bad, okay? And saying positive symptoms of autism, which is a complete statement here, it would be true, but it's probably misguiding, right? Because if you're saying like they checked 3 out of 5, does that mean that they're 3 out of 5 of an autist? No. they're still an autist. How do we remove that lack of understanding? Well, maybe let's leave it like that. Now, let me be fucking clear. I'm vibing this shit off, okay? I have no fucking clue why they stated it like that. I'm just saying, to me, this seems like so easy to do. This seems like what I would do if I didn't want any parent to freak the fuck out at the idea that their child is an autist. Because, believe it or not, it's a big thing when you get that news. So, may that be it? Together, verb, together. Together, them, to you. Brother, I have a hard time seeing them as different things. They're all written the same. Okay. So yeah, that's why I always use them. I especially expose them as myself, because worst case, usually not at all. Reads poorly, but it shows communication is bi-directional, even if you are the only one giving information. Yes. Well, I will state that I have learned quite a lot from you and Ned today. That's great. Apparently, naivety can mean something else that is not just the lack of knowledge, and that metric fucking hell. Well, yes, the way you used it was to say lack of knowledge. The only problem is that you had no foundation to claim a lack of knowledge. You show these symptoms, you hold these political opinions. Versus you are in the middle. Yes, exactly. Ned is pointing it out. Whenever you say to somebody, you hold these political opinions, it feels like an attack. Whenever you say, well, you're in the middle of this group, that's a little bit less violent. The latter holds way more info. The former, you meant? Like this one? Maybe I'm misreading you. You don't have to. They're doing this not for you, but for your parents. And you have to know that everything that I've explained to you is a good thing. It's what you want society to look like. You want doctors to not choose horrible names for something, for a pathology. Because if they don't, people won't seek diagnosis. People won't seek help for things that they might gain a lot from. The stream chat is like grinding training to increase social stat in an RPG. True! I meant to say the first holds more info. Okay, yeah. I got it. We're good. But so you know if that metric does exist. I am flying to Canada. What? I'm not sure I understand. Anyway. I didn't understand your phrasing here. Alright. Enough rant. Okay. You see, that's the... right now you're embodying autism, right? Because you see it as you were lied. But most people look at this and see it as the good way to do things. Because again, you have to think about the fact that most people have one full core dedicating to reading the undertone of whatever the fuck they're reading. So in that world, the undertone is so important that it's worth maybe putting some information that in a straight read may not feel true. Right? You were not lied to. Exactly. I was freaking lied to. Well, I trusted, I understand, okay? But, okay, here, like, lied is not the right word. The right word would be, the message was not meant for you. The message was meant to be read by a parent. By a very stressed parent. My heart was stabbed. Okay. Okay. I lied without knowing. Okay. We all lie every day if it's without knowing. You know what it's called? It's called being naive. I use naive, but there's better words. Ignorant. Like, it's not a lie if you don't know it's a lie. And let me be clear. You cannot say, I didn't know, when you knew. That's not the same thing. Alright. We've grinded the social stat enough. But you get that nothing in that was wrong, right? If I take this at face value, piece of paper, positive, autism, score, 7, right? Nothing is wrong there. If we deconstruct this, here, positive, this is, okay, let's make, we are a compiler now, okay? We are a compiler, we are looking at this. What is this part? Okay, we are parsing this. What is this part? This part is social bullshit. So, because we're a compiler, and we're a pure computer, a pure autistic computer, we delete this, okay? Most people don't delete this. They get a lot of information from this, and it helps them understand the rest. But on your side, you should, because it's not meant for you. Autism means that you're on the spectrum. Wow! And the score means how many questions you answered yes to. That's all, right? This part that is deleted on your side, needs to be deleted on your side, is just there so that it can execute on x86 64 a 32-bit instruction, right? Do we get that? We're just talking about not the same architecture. We're trying to like fill up some bits and make this shit still work. That's all this is. Social preprocessor. That's exactly what I'm fucking doing. Nothing's wrong if you're positively autistic. Naive means wrong in this community. Everywhere in tech, naive means wrong. Yes. Nobody believes naive as being something else. Well, maybe Sorry, Nigmobilis. Rip. But yeah, when you say naive, you mean wrong. Most people, that's what they see. I can't new line a message. Rip. Boat. What? Undefined. Boat on screen. I made a boat? Okay. R. Okay. So the answer from what I have tried to ask, there's one gradient. The gradient is this. Just autism. There's not a third or more. That metrics indexing doesn't exist. Besides talking directly about the symptoms, no other metric. Water. Ah, okay, I think I get it now. You're making some waves. Okay, that's cool. Well, I see naivety. Just having lack of knowledge or information. You see how that's the same thing as wrong, right? I don't know how you can write that up and not see that it's the same thing as wrong. What? Okay, if I say vaccine cause autism, why do I say that? I say that because I lack the knowledge that vaccine do not cause autism. I am wrong. I am naive. When we're talking about things that are important enough, naivete becomes being wrong. You're naive on how vaccine works. Nah. I wouldn't call it naive, I would call it wrong because I like condemnation in my language, but it's the same thing. The language of my people, I preach to you! I knew you would love it. I knew you would love it. Alright. Have we literally not done a fucking thing today? Like, literally nothing? We've changed the color of the comments. G fucking G. So then, the basis on which you make your comment is wrong. Well, no, because you would say wrong if you were a computer. You're trying to couch statements that cannot be couched. You cannot make a... Okay. No matter what I say before retard, it doesn't work, right? I cannot be positive and tell someone that he's a retard. If I say, hey Ned, I really love the fact that you're such a high-functioning retard. Like, there's no way that I... like, it doesn't work. Right? So sometime, whenever you want to say that someone doesn't have a good foundation on something, just say that they're wrong. It will feel more honest, and it will work. For me, naive equals credulous, oblivious. Yes, naive is better used whenever somebody is being fucked, right? By somebody else. So, for example, buying Trump coin because you think it's going to make you rich, you are wrong, but you are also naive. You are naive because you are being led by somebody that's fucking you, right? MB fucking phrased it perfectly. Not how I see it. I am right. Oh man. I don't know why. Okay. I have so many dumb memes in my head. I don't even know. To me, wrongness, lack of knowledge are two different things, but they're not. The only naive, what you're essentially putting there is if somebody is morally culpable for the retardation that they're doing. So whenever you use naive outside of something that has moral culpability, you sound arrogant. Anyway. Okay. It's enough for today. We had some fun. Okay. Tomorrow I'll try to make the video for real, and maybe we'll be doing some editing tomorrow. Who knows? I can hold the lack of knowledge and wrongness as separate concept, but the labels themselves don't work that way. True, true, yes. Yes. Exactly. That's better said than I did, right? Because they are two different things, right? But nobody see it as different things. It doesn't feel like different things. Labels are everything. True. Labels means the baggage of whatever the fuck what you're saying is. Title, name, and the baggage that come with it. All right. Every word is a label. Yes. I guess so. Okay, enough. We'll see ourselves tomorrow. We'll see. I hope I'll be able to fucking make that video. Thank you, Ned. Thank you. And thank you, Nigma, for indulging in this. And thank you, MBWare, for being the relief of, like, not feeling fucking unhinged. Exactly, Ned. I second that statement. Bye-bye for real now, okay? Bye-bye. Love you all. Love you all.